One West Virginia player is absolutely dominating at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis, posting absolute freakish numbers, actually making the freaks list. Who is that? We're going to talk about that on the other side of the intro on this episode of Mountaineer Paul Talk Football.
This is for Cameron.
What is up, guys, and welcome back and welcome in. My name is Mountaineer Paul, and you've landed yourself here again at Mountaineer Paul Talk Football. And guys, I got to tell you, West Virginia has a player that's absolutely blowing the combine away right now, and that would be none other than Mr. Bryce Ford Wheaton, keeping a long-standing tradition, actually, of wide receivers performing at the combine at West Virginia. Think Kevin White. Think Tavon Austin, guys like that, Stebin Bailey, guys that have really performed well coming out of West Virginia. Bryce Ford Wheaton is just another one of those people, being compared to some of the greatest players in the history of the game, and also some others that are making their way into that conversation. We're talking about players like Calvin Johnson, DK Metcalf. I'm not saying it. The NFL scouts are saying it. Here's a couple of cool things that I picked up looking at some of his numbers and stuff like that, which we'll get into. This is called a relative athletic score, and it's used at the NFL Combine. This is obviously for Bryce Ford Wheaton. His composite size grade is elite at 6'4". His weight is elite at 221 pounds. His explosion grade is elite at 41-inch vertical, guys. That's NBA level for a guy that's 6'4". Broad jump, 9.45, which is elite. 40-yard dash, 20 and 10-yard splits, both elite. And they are saying that no other person since Calvin Johnson and DK Metcalf have had these kind of numbers. Both of those guys are over 6'3" or 6'4", and all ran sub-4.4 40s. It's hard to do for guys like Tavon Austin, that size. Much less for a guy the size of Bryce Ford Wheaton, right? Got one more thing I'm going to read here, something that Coos sent me, which I thought was pretty cool, and I actually don't know the source for this material. I apologize, but here it is. Ford Wheaton, wide receiver, West Virginia, after 62 catches for 675 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2022. He started the pre-draft process with a great week of work at the East-West Shrine Bowl, which had scouts buzzing. Then he doubled down with a great combine workout, standing out in agility and position drills. Scouts were texting me during the workout of his 41-inch vertical jump, and is actually 6'4" and 225 pounds. He also notched a 10.9 broad jump and put an exclamation mark on his day with a 4.38 second run in the 40. Those numbers at that height and weight are comparable to DK Metcalf for context, one of the best receivers in the game, and it just happens to be who Geno Smith throws the ball to. Ford Wheaton came into Indy as an early day 3 prospect in a draft class with mostly smaller receivers in the top 3 rounds, but he could rise to the top 100 picks. Bryce Ford Wheaton has made himself a lot of money since he's been in Indianapolis. But it kind of makes you want to ask the question, doesn't it? Why didn't he perform better while he was at West Virginia? I want to know, guys. Before we go any further, guys, why don't you hit that subscribe button for me if you haven't subscribed to Mountaineer Paul Talks Football? And let's have a dialogue about this, man. Drop a comment below. Let me know why you think Bryce Ford Wheaton wasn't one of the best receivers in the Big 12. With numbers like that, he certainly should have been. Yes, he was good this past year, but I think we all see now that he should have been better. What is your reasons? I'm about to give mine. Like I said, guys, please like and subscribe to Mountaineer Paul Talk Football. The spring is heating up. We're going to be talking about more and more Mountaineer football as the Mountaineers go deep, hopefully into March. I think it's a lot of reasons why Bryce Ford Wheaton didn't perform better at West Virginia. First of all, it was kind of some of his own fault, right? He had a couple years ago issues with drop balls. That's something he said they called 1,000 balls a day or something like that during the offseason to try to rectify. But oh, wait, he had 3 to 4 wide receivers coaches while he was at West Virginia. That was an issue. You're not always, if you're not being taught consistently and consistency, how are you expected to be consistent on the field? Number 3, he had JT Daniels, Jarrett Doege, Austin Kendall, and Garrett Green sometimes throwing him balls, right? None of which we have to, you'll still yet wait and see on Garrett Green, have proven to be elite in any way. And JT Daniels being the best of that bunch, and he was below average, below starter level, according to Pro Football Focus. So there's a lot of reasons. And then, oh, by the way, a lot of people want to blame this on Neil Brown. While it has not developed players greatest while at West Virginia, I would say that this falls into a position coach category, but you could go with the philosophy of the coaching staff as a whole and lay that on Neil Brown. I could see something like that. But there are a myriad of factors, guys. Number 1 is the staff just hasn't been as good as we'd hoped at developing players, along with the other things that I said. But overall, guys, this is a time for celebration and to be proud of Bryce Ford Wheaton for what he did in Indianapolis. Dante Stills also performed really well while he was in Indianapolis. Plan to do a video on that sometime in the next couple of days as well. He has improved his draft stock too. Don't want to forget Dante. We're really proud of Dante as well. But Bryce Ford Wheaton stole the show in Indianapolis, getting himself into the top 100 pick range. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in and listening to this video. This has been another episode of Mountaineer Paul Talks Football. This episode is over. I am out.
This is for Cameron. Cam. Oh.